Can you remember what they said about Hamilton last night? Your guides?
She was the first
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's like the first one to have a surplus.
The first one to have a surplus.
What first one to have a surplus, that's correct.
Good job.
All right, great. Okay, we'll walk to the White House.
Yeah, just like we need it.
And this,
Will, smile.
That's much better. Okay, very good.
I already got one. How great this is, you can actually learn. And on that one.
Oh, snap.
Sheet of paper. Beta will be stopped by clothing, his cardboard, the glass.
yep, I see the resemblance.
Don't move.
This way, you can't send them. Alright, can I send somebody else?
Oh, wow, he doesn't have a hat over here. Whoa, totally different person over here. I don't know. Oh, snap.
That's how small. Wow. Big kitties. Getting some lunch. Library of Congress.
Okay, this is the Library of Congress. We talked about the Supreme Court. It's right on the other side, the next building over. Library of Congress, I know 3 of you did a project for the Library of Congress. So I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to see who knows. This is kind of a general question. How did it start? Why was it even created? Anybody know?
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
So Congress went to go research like their country sort of.
Exactly. It was basically so Congress would have a place to research every subject. I know that Diane, with my group, mentioned Thomas Jefferson. He knew he was a scholar. He was a gardener. He had books and books and books because he was interested in everything. And that is why Thomas Jefferson's the one that started it, because he had so many books and he wanted to donate them to the country so that Congress would have a resource for this. It was started in 1800. In 1814, there was a war of 1814. It burned. Okay, Washington was burned. There was a major building in D.C. that burned. Does anyone know what building that was?
White House.
I mean, a bunch did, but a major building.
White House.
The Capitol. So, if the Library of Congress burned in 1814, where do you think it originally was? The Capitol. Okay, it wasn't until 1888 that they built the first building, which is the Thomas Jefferson Building. There's now 3 buildings. The first building is built. They figured in 150 years, maybe it'd get filled. Okay, it got filled in 13 years. So it started out with Thomas Jefferson's books. His library is in there. Now there's 3 buildings: the Jefferson, the Adams, and the Madison. There are 838 miles of shelves. That's a lot.
Do you get to go and look at the book?
You do, yeah. Everything that is submitted for copyright in the U.S. goes through the Library of Congress. 10,000 submissions a day. They don't keep a copy. an actual permanent copy of every single thing, that would be, we have to fill the whole city. Now how do you think they keep copies of them now?
Like,
Online, digital. Does anyone know back when your teachers and I were young, how maybe they would have done it?
microfilm.
No, we
I
weren't
used that
born
word, I was
yet.
like, yeah, they're not going to know that. Microfiche, it's like negative film. You know, there's these sheets of film and they're tiny, and then you put them in a projector and you can read it. So now it's digital. Yeah, projector.
That's crazy. Protect.
There are the contents of Abraham Lincoln's pockets in there. There's a Gershwin room. I'm talking about just books. Music is copyrighted. There's a Gershwin room. Does anybody know who Gershwin is? No.
No.
Incredibly
George.
famous composer, American composer. There's a room of his. There's a Bob Hope room in there. You know who Bob Hope is? Let's see. The Gutenberg Bible. Does anyone know what that is? Gutenberg Bible was the first book to be printed on an actual printing press. There's only 4 of them. They only did 4. One of them is in the Library of Congress. Definitely worth going and looking at. The printing, the artwork, there's artwork on the edges, incredible. Very, very famous book. When it was established, Europe had these huge cultural cities, incredible culture. It kind of established the U.S. as a cultural nation because now we had this incredible library of information. So it was really important to the nation. And does anybody know who was president when it was established? Wasn't Jefferson. Adams. Okay, that was one of the names of the building.
Nope, it's his name is Goldwyn.
Stars above their heads. They represent the 13 original colonies. You also see up there a banner. The banner says "E pluribus unum." And our first concept, out of many one. Now it is hard to look up there forever, isn't it? So bring your eyes about here. Everybody, the painting. First one on this side should be pretty familiar to most people. That is the Declaration of Independence. It's very the clock. She's looking down over Congress, as you can see, she is writing down what Congress is saying and doing. Behind her, that whole area was the gallery. If you had lived in Washington back in the early to mid 19th century, you would have gotten all your stuff. You might have even brought your lunch and sat up there. Back then, Congress was generally only in session during the winter months, December, January, February, early March. Then they let them go home to tend to their groupies.
So don't say you're so nasty. And when you hug her, you go,
Please go.
They're refurbishing part of the building while we were waiting for our bus.
We're just a little more focused about how to be able to.
That's pretty cool. Very cool.
Supreme Court. And Library of Congress.
So some of them have more.
All right, finally leaving the Capitol building.
Are there any more on my back? Just they did that so many times.
Getting ready to go home. Oops, sorry.